He was like, hey,
oh my goodness,
I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm one of your top salesmen.
Trades are something that if you know them, you can always fall back
always,
on them.
Man.
Right? Which is the third part that people miss out on a lot.
And it's the hardest part.
It is.
She made a decision to create.
You're listening to the Roofing Success Podcast, a show created to inspire roofing contractors to achieve optimal success in their roofing businesses. I'm the host, Jim Aline, the co-author of the books Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors and The Best Known Roofer. I'm also the co-founder of Roofer Marketers, the leading digital marketing agency for the roofing industry. On each episode, I sit down with industry leaders to talk about their processes, the lessons they've learned, and how to find success in roofing.
Welcome to another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast, broadcast live from the Roof Gallery at the Roofing Blacked event.
Sir.
Another amazing interview, Tobiah Rocker.
Yes, sir.
How are you, man? I'm watching you for a while, man. We've run into each other at event after event, and you've taken our money multiple times.
Yes.
You've taken our drones.
Had to take it every time.
So for those that don't know, we, at all the events, we'll do something fun. We've had pull-up competitions, hang bar competitions, things like that. And your fitness background has enabled you to take that home.
Most definitely.
To take that home.
And every time I see it, I say, yeah, I do need a drone. And this recent event, I had one of my employees was like, can you go win that money for me? I was like, I go hang. And I wanted to go to the roof progress, but there was a whole bunch going on.
Okay. Yep. So you can't make them all. You can't make them all. You'd have taken more money from me. You'd taken more money from me. That's all right. Man, what's fun? So let's talk a little bit about how you got into roofing and started Rocker Roofing.
Okay. So, basically, the main thing that allowed me to get into this industry, it started from, by me being in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the Black Wall Street Massacre took place. I was raised in the church called Vernon, and Vernon Church is one of the last historical buildings that's still in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I was raised in in that church and things like that. So doing things that I do in my community, the pastor kind of ran by me and was like, hey, I know you do things in real estate and things like that. I'm kind of seeing if you're open to giving us a quote, a bid on our roof, because we just put out bids to other roofers to see if they want to take on the job. And I never did roofing. I never, let alone been in the industry. But I think he kind of just, the fact that I do the real estate aspect, he was like, he just kind of put two and two together. So I got the bid. I wrote it out. I underbid it. I did a horrible job. I had no idea what I was doing. But in that process, I was online looking at a lot of roofing activities and things like that, and information and value. And it brought me, I guess I jumped into the algorithm of seeing other reviews of other roofing things. So RoofCon popped up. And it was like a conference that individuals was having in Orlando. And as I was looking at it, was just seeing a lot of information and value in the roofing space. So I booked 2 tickets for me and a buddy of mine to go out there, not knowing anything about roofing, not knowing what we're going to do. I bought the tickets, went out there to RoofCon, and RoofCon really opened up the whole entire experience, opportunity, and value in the roofing space. So they had about over 60 booths of other different roofing companies, other different products, materials, information, sales force. I went to every single booth and I talked to every single person that whole entire conference. Got a significant amount of information and value. Purchased a few softwares, purchased a few courses, came back home, sourced through those as well to add on to the pipeline, and I just completely dove in 100%. So coming from RoofCon, I felt that I was moving in the right direction in the aspect of industry wise. And as I got into it, we had a storm that was in OKC, And, you know, I never knocked doors, never did anything like that. But I knew in this industry, that's what you do. If it's a hailstorm, you go to the hailstorm and you try to knock on doors and you close them. But it's a whole entire process in regards to that I didn't know. So going down there, just knocking doors, jumping on roofs, not having really the most knowledgeable individuals around me in this space. So we were kind of going about it in a very wrong, you know, direction. Yeah. But that experience allowed me to hone in and get locked into what I knew I needed to learn to basically dominate this industry. So that OKC storm had about 2.5 inch hail in a very, very small area. I wasn't able to close any deals because of my process, but it was really easy for me to like understand the direction of where we needed to go now.
So that's interesting. That's a mindset thing, right? Because it's the lessons, not losses.
Yes.
Right. So you could have went out there and came up short and said, maybe this business isn't for me.
Yeah.
Right? But you didn't. You changed. You just said, oh, these are the lessons. Now I see now I know what I didn't know.
Most def.
Right. Now I know what I didn't know. Now we need to work on this, and we need to work on this, and it's the next and the next and the next. A year later, we're back at roofing process or at RoofCon.
Yes.
And I saw you again, but this time the team was with you.
Yes, sir.
So it wasn't just that you got going and with yourself and just tried and tried and tried. It was you started building a business.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit and your thoughts on that.
I mean, I come from the entrepreneur background. Like, I only know ownership. I only know taking full control over my opportunity, just like when the individual is speaking in the aspect of him working for someone. Anytime that you're working for somebody, that's where the control comes from. That's where like when things are not in my control, that's when it's an issue, because there's a lot of error that can take place. And if any error is going to happen, I'd rather it be on my end. So going to RoofCon by myself and then getting the information and value and knowing that you need a team in order to actually take advantage of this industry, I immediately, once I got back home, start vetting, start hiring, start recruiting, and let alone people were seeing my momentum of what I was doing and wanted to be involved as well. And plus the reputation that I have for when I do enter into a business or industry, they know I take it to the next level, and I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to be a master at it. So to answer your question, I just came back home, got deep into my studies, deep into the courses, deep into the training transformation of my business, the culture, the softwares, the tools, to know, all right, this is where we need to head towards, this is what we need to do, and everybody has to have their own particular role.
Yes.
So Job Nimbus, when I was at RoofCon, was the CRM system that I locked into. And then Canvas is what I gave my door-to-door guys to walk. TJ has, I think TJ McCormick, no, it was there's a guy named TJ, Sales Transformation.
No, that's Ryan Groth's sales transformation group. TJ has Paradise Claims. You may be thinking of TJ with Paradise Claims.
Paradise.
Yeah. TJ Ware.
TJ Ware, and I know TJ.
Yeah.
But Sales Transformation was the software that I got for training, and then Matthew Mulholland. Yeah. He had a referral program in regards to the insurance aspect of it, so we grabbed that as well. So I was just grabbing different softwares to get that information. Deshaun, all of his content that he has for door to door, very motivational. Demetrius. So there's a lot of guys that's in this industry that already bring that type of that value. So I even went out there to Arizona, I believe, with
Storm Ventures?
It's Storm Ventures Group. It's the owner.
Yeah, Anthony
Domenico.
Yeah.
You know, I went out there, got value from him. There's another guy that's in Florida. He's real huge on the social media platforms.
You just went out and just got the knowledge that you needed.
Everybody that was bringing any type of value.
Where does that come from? Where did you learn to do that?
I think life. It's how can we, if I've never been in the industry, and there's individuals that's out there that's been in the industry, why not learn from others who already know the process and procedures in the industry that they've been in for years? I don't want to learn anything. If the information and value is already there, I'd rather learn from people's experience and move forward from there. So I was able to start from the position of how people structure their business, helping other individuals scale their business instead of going through those trials and tribulations and heartaches.
You can fast track it. You can 100%. Fast track it.
Absolutely.
And that's really important for people to listen to, is that the resources are available out there. I was talking to someone at Roofing Process Conference recently. It was a gentleman. He had a roofing company for 8 years and didn't manage things well. Had to shut it down. Then he took a couple years off, and then he got locked in the algorithm, right? And he started seeing these videos and watching all the content that's out there, and getting in touch with some of the coaches and consultants in the industry that are doing such an amazing job. And he's like, I'm going back.
Facts.
I'm going back, and I'm not just going back. I'm going back with all of the lessons that I've learned. And he was so excited for where he's going in the future, right? So that's a great point for people to understand, is that the knowledge is there on such an amazing level now. Going to the conferences, there's great trainers in all aspects of these businesses. So a little bit before that, you said you were in real estate.
Yes.
What was were you in the real estate fix and flips, real estate brokerages?
Yeah.
What type of thing there?
For me, it first started with tax consulting and opening up several offices and having thousands of clients in that space. That allowed us to get into the market, acquisition, fix and flips, ground ups, the mortgage space, insurance space, that whole space in general. That was a industry that we were in, that we were doing very, very well in. And for myself, I have my father, he has a landscaping business. I've been in trees my whole life and things like that. So I kind of have that industrial kind of background, that blue collar background. But for me, landscaping is its own thing, and roofing is its own, and construction is its own thing. But it kind of go hand in hand. So for myself, it allowed me to see that I can create opportunity in a space for a lot of individuals. So being in, to answer your question, I was involved in any and everything under real estate. So for me to know those different levels of industries that we used to execute in, it allowed me to see I'm already paying, because what it was we were building a lot of homes, flipping a lot of homes, and I was subbing out a lot of these roofing jobs to a lot of individuals. And as I was subbing these jobs out to other roofing companies, they wasn't doing a really good job. They wasn't executing. They were, dragging their feet and things like that. So that was another, as I look at it in the past, that was another thing that bothered me, and I always saw opportunity in it. So, me being in real estate allowed me to understand the roofing aspect, because for investors, for anybody that's in the space, they just need subs and they need guys to do the repair. So if I'm already knowledgeable about the insurance space and already have these good relationships with my real estate guys, it's like, hey, now that I've unraveled and launched a roofing and construction company, it makes it a really good, easy pivoting point for individuals to come work with me and my organization and support me. So that real estate and financial background put me in a situation where it was a no-brainer.
So are you starting out, let's talk about I mean, you got to generate business, right? That's the first thing that you need to do to get things going. Has it been door to door?
Yes, it was. We started off door to door, and being in Oklahoma, I mean, it's predominantly a white demographic.
Yeah.
So me, having the tattoos, the nose rings, the earrings, the braids, but I always come correct in professional, collar, slacks.
Yeah.
My appearance has always been professional. The door-to-door aspect in a more white demographic was a huge struggle and a huge challenge, being in this space. And it showed that racism is not too much somebody just not liking you for the pigment of your color. It can just comes in forms of not feeling that you're competent enough to actually perform the work. Because I meet roofers, I meet these guys who just got out of jail with addictions, with all of this this crazy past, and they can knock on a door and not even be knowledgeable about what they're talking about, and the individual will go with them, with me, I'm coming with value information. I'm elaborating. I'm coming with systems, software, AI, drones. I'm going up and beyond. But that barrier and that factor has always put us at a standstill on a lot of jobs. So, door to door is the heart of the roofing business. But depending on your demographic, it can play a major role. And Deshaun even spoke about this on one video.
Yeah.
He kind of feels that he hasn't typically had too many issues in regards to that factor. But, he comes from, a different area and things like that. And I can only just speak for me being in the Oklahoma market.
Yeah.
We knock doors from morning to from morning to night.
Yeah.
And I do that same thing here in Atlanta, where the demographic is predominantly black. I was sign and sell 3 to 4 jobs a day, just by me just dealing with my own people.
Yeah.
So it allows me to know, like, it is a thing. It is a barrier of individuals feeling whatever way that they feel about a black contractor. So I want to push that agenda a little bit more. A lot of people are kind of running away from door to door.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to create the culture of door-to-door knockers and showing the success stories from that, and allowing people to see that, let's not judge an individual who is walking in the sun, rain, sleet, and snow, trying to make it a honest way in business to knock doors for a possibility of you going with them to make some money. That alone should allow individuals to know this person could be breaking into your house. This person could be breaking into your car, robbing somebody. But instead of them taking those other options, they're deciding to knock on your door to earn your business. And the only thing that we ask, especially for contractors and dealing with these homeowners, is that they do what they say they're going to do, and we do what we say we're going to do.
Yeah.
So we can continue to grow and get referrals and take this business to the next level.
So do you think that by, let's just talk about getting your team, which is out on the streets, knocking doors, do you think that that people seeing you around more and doing, being there, being
Facts.
part of that business, right? Being part of this is who we see in our neighborhoods, knocking doors, Rocker's one of the best roofing companies
Absolutely.
around. And so, is that something that's on the top of your mind?
Always.
I'm going to not, hey, it's been challenging and we face these issues. We're moving away from that. We're going to find other ways to generate business. Mm-hmm. So you're pressing forward and saying, let's change people's
narrative.
perception of you at their door.
And then let alone any black person that comes, Mexican, minority that comes and knocks on your doors to try to earn your business. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's give them some sorts of opportunity to take their business to the next level, because how many stories do we have or that we hear of someone getting out of jail, somebody not being in a really good situation, getting to the roofing space. You can hit rock bottom.
There's a lot of those stories in roofing, man. A lot of people that this business has changed their life.
Most definitely. And for a individual to be in a space to change your life and be out there in the sun and cold, trying to make an honest way of living, and seeing what the perception is. I see a problem and I want to press the problem, because after that problem, it has to be a solution. And the solution can always be resolved in anything that we make it our focus to change. So, yes, I am pushing the agenda of hiring and getting more African Americans and minorities in this business, just for that reason alone. Like you said, we hear these stories all the time, individuals coming into this space and taking their lives to a whole different level. So that's what this is why I'm in this industry. It allows me to take someone that just got out of jail, that has tattoos all over their body and their face, and because I have a reputable roofing company, I can make him an installer. I can teach him how to nail on the shingle. I can teach him how to go drop materials. I can teach this individual that's a felon, a different trade, to change his life and his family. I can take somebody out of high school and say, I know you probably don't know if you want to go to college. I know you probably just lost. But in the meantime, when you figuring it out, you can go do door-to-door sales for me, and you'll make $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 a month. And then you can make a decision if you honestly want to go to college. So there's this industry alone, right? It allows it to be a situation where we can create real change, real opportunity for individuals across the board.
So what do you think is different about the roofing industry versus some other industries, right? Like, because those stories are in roofing, and it's here, and and a lot of lives have been changed just being in this industry. But I don't know what it is, but you don't hear that in like being a real estate broker, or being an insurance agent, or I'm just not in that industry and haven't heard those stories, right? Like, what do you think it is about roofing in I guess it's the trades, the construction trades maybe, that gives that opportunity? It's
the volume of opportunity there. When you have a real estate agent, you have to look for a qualified buyer. A qualified buyer is looking for somebody to work with. That's kind of, that's the process. Roofing is that we look around, when we get on a plane and we look outside of that window and look down, we have commercial, residential. We have millions of homes that we're able to look at. So the reason why I feel like it's so different is because of the volume of opportunity, the endless amount of opportunity in this space that creates that barrier, because you have prestigious areas, and then you have middle class areas, then you have low income areas, and then you have extremely high end areas. So in the roofing space, I can't go knock in the hood or the ghetto because these individuals do not have a policy. And if they do have a policy, they got this mortgage 40, 50, 60 years ago. The terms was horrible, and they gave them the worst policy possible because that allows their homeowner insurance to be cheap. So when it's time to make a claim, they have ACV policies. They just have horrible structured policies. So for me, wanting to scale my business, I'm in high prestigious areas. I'm in high end areas, and most high end areas are controlled by a white demographic. So for me, wanting to be in a neighborhood where I know I can get real good quality work, I'm a black man in a neighborhood where no black people live. So knocking on a door wearing all black and orange, I've had police called on me several times just for walking in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I've been disrespected several times by just knocking on the door trying to get somebody's honest business. And it lit a fire in me to know that I love roofing and I love door knocking so much is because you can really allow someone to see who they are.
Yeah.
Like you can hide from racism in certain situations, but when somebody knocks on your door and your wife answers the door and they see a black man talking to your wife and he's sounding educated and the wife is laughing and smiling because she knows that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's times that a wife will want to go with me because they're like, hey, I didn't talk to 6 roofers and no one has explained it to me this way, blah, 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 blah. But then the husband is like, well, I like the other guy better, right? And it's like you liked the other guy better, but I'm more of a better fit for this situation. And that is why I'm so passionate about this roofing space, because I can take a kid, anybody that's in any type of situation, and change their life in less than 30 days.
I think one of the other things that creates the opportunity in this space is that we've been pushed away from the trades.
Yes.
Right. So it's not cool to be in the trades, right? It's not cool. Like I was talking with Don and people won't even put it on their social media. They'll create a whole nother social media profile just to say that they're in roofing, right?
Because everybody wants to be an entertainer.
Yes.
Everybody wants to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be in the spotlight. Everybody wants to seem and be someone that they're not.
Yeah.
So the contracting in the blue collar space, that's another thing. We are changing the narrative of making a roofer, a concrete, a plumbing, electric. We're making the blue collar industry the new rapper feeling, the new entertaining feeling, because there's no difference. If we take the reason why,
it's probably more opportunity for actual success.
Absolutely, it is
to actually succeed,
most
right?
Definitely. Like everybody, like you see a rapper, he wants to rap because that's all he sees on social media.
Yeah.
But if he sees somebody that dressed just like the rapper, that drives the cars just like the rappers, and the entertainers, and live that whole entire lifestyle, it is changing the trajectory of the industry, because now a kid is like, well, I really don't know how to rap. I don't like being in front of a camera and things like that. They're not forcing themselves to be something that they're not.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, this guy that I met is a roofer and he drives a Rolls Royce, a Rari. He has a penthouse. Like he lives this lifestyle. So that's the issue too, because if we go back, once we was released from slavery, and we were kind of out in the world trying to figure out what's next, we had to build our own homes. We had to start over. We already have these trades because as slaves, we came over here and we were doing free labor for all of these major corporations. We learned how to build homes because that's what we had to do for free. So the fact that we have this trade, and now that we're free, we build our own houses, our own situations and things like that. So we have a community of black individuals who have taught their sons how to change and build a house, the windows, the floor, the plumbing. Like that used to be our foundation.
Yeah.
But then once, the civil rights motion happened, and then everybody wanted to go eat at other restaurants where they wasn't wanted. They wanted to go like perm their hair to be like the other demographic. They wanted to be accepted by a race that didn't want them to even be accepted by. So then you have the countryman, the farmer, who's hearing about his friends going to the city, having fun, drinking, living life, while he's on the farm
toiling, working,
right?
Yeah.
So now that time separated us from the trade, and we went to entertainment. So now we don't have individuals that's in this trade space. So we've got that form of trade, or that form of information got pulled from our bloodline. So now, fast forward into 2023, we have to go back to that.
Yeah.
We have to go back to building. We have to go back to knowing certain trades of how we can do our own certain trades, just let alone in our house.
Yeah.
There's guys that don't even know how to change a tire.
I know.
So it's just like we have to go back to the fundamentals of teaching each other how to fix, repair, and build our own, so we can continue to do this through the whole entire race to put us in a better position. I talked to fifth generation roofers, fourth generation roofers, meaning since you was a child, this is all you've known, right? You've only known success in this space if your father or grandfather ran the company properly. But regardless, you were set up as a child to say, if all fails and you completely ruin your life, you will still have a roofing trade to fall back on and still become a millionaire.
That's what's different about trade. I mean, it's all skill sets, right? But like trades are something that if you know them, you can always fall back on them,
man.
Right? Like you can always fall back on that skill set. A lot of times, and I was kind of like, I think like college has been pushed so hard, right? Go to college, get a degree, but what degree? What degree, right?
What?
And the what degree is very important. If you got a degree in accounting, now you have a trade.
Yes.
Right? You have a skill set that you can't, but if you get a degree in history, it's not something it's a different thing. So when having the trades, I like what you're talking about, is having the trades, having those skill sets to fall back on. Sales is a skill set.
Yes.
I think that is something that is not taught.
That's
right? Everything.
If you're not going to work for anybody in your life, you're going to either work for somebody your whole life,
yes,
or you're going to sell something.
Yeah,
that's night and day. You're going to work for somebody, or you're going to sell something. And the faster that you critique your sales, as soon as you critique the sales, let's just say, what would you call that? Intellect. It will allow you to start basically being able to sell anything. And that's what I tell people.
It's the process of it, right? It's learning how to have a sales conversation, right? Once you learn, like I think it's Jordan Belfort, one of those guys that's like, sell me this pen.
Yes.
Right. And you could tell a lot by someone by how they respond to sell me this pen.
Definitely.
And if they are asking questions to you, and it's really an inquisitive process, right?
Is.
Like it's first we have to find a problem.
Yes.
And then we have to understand if we have the solution to that problem.
Facts.
Then we present that solution, and then we ask for the business,
Absolutely.
which is the third part that people miss out on a lot.
And it's the hardest part.
It is,
because a lot of people will talk themselves.
Gets uncomfortable there.
Yeah, it's like you're talking to a stranger.
Yeah.
People don't even like to say hi, hello. Like we're living in a world today where we don't even like the human interaction.
It's crazy.
Everything has to be social media. There's people that will talk to you on social media and see you in person and don't say anything to you.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because we've been structured in this world where they're trying to divide us and separate us, where we don't really have the human connection anymore. So when you have a guy who does sales that's confident in talking to individuals, if you are in a position to make someone feel comfortable as a stranger and give them value and information, you can close, you can sell, you can bring value, and you can take your life to a whole different level. Me being in roofing sales, I can sell anything. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't sell a product, I sell an experience. And as long as I know the process of whatever I'm selling, I can close.
That's right.
So these things need to be taught for high schoolers. These things need to talk, and like this is something that we have to teach our children.
Yes.
Because it will allow more human interaction, and it will allow them to basically create some type of form of business for themselves as well.
We were talking earlier with Matt Mulholland in the hallway here, and I noticed it too when we were down at RoofCon, and we saw you guys out. I don't know if it was at dinner or right after dinner or something like that, and you had the whole team with you.
Yes.
And there's a vibe with your team.
Yeah.
And Matt mentioned it too.
Yes.
And we were like, there's something different. There's something different. And I think that's a leadership thing. And you mentioned it early on that these people wanted to work with you and were willing to follow your dream of building this roofing company based on your past wins, I would say, right? What are you consciously thinking about how to build your company's culture?
Absolutely.
All right, speak to that. What are your thoughts on what's the first thing that someone can think about in building a company culture?
For me, I'm very intentional in regards to the culture of people that I work with. I'm family based when it's dealing with working. I want people and individuals to, when we work together, when we connect together, if we're just in this space, and let's just say this roofing industry, I'm only comfortable working with individuals that I trust. So people who work for me, they can be extremely good workers, they can be good talkers, they can be all of this. But if I feel their energy, because I'm a very spiritual person, I am spiritually driven. So people that's in my culture, people that's in my, that work with me, these are people that I can honestly say I trust. Yeah. These are people that I can say that if anything was to happen and I needed to go sleep on their couch, I would be able to go sleep. Everybody else looks for individuals that they can take from. When I connect with individuals, I see how much can I give you? How much can I do for you? How much can I change your life? And I feel that if a business owner and other business owners, if they took more time to talk to their employees and their culture to say, what can I do to be a better boss? What can I do to bring you more value? What can I do to do anything to put you in a better situation? When they hear that, when they see that, if I'm going up and beyond to change someone's life, they're going to go up and beyond to change mine, because it goes hand in hand. Yeah. The better that we do as a company, the more that I can do for you, the more I can do for your family, the more. So it can be intentional to the aspect of, people that's in the organization and doing whatever it is that they do. But my culture is built off of love. That's it. Like, we only focus on the love factor. When we see each other, we don't shake each other's hand, we hug each other. When we go out, we go to the movies together. We go to the beach together. We go to cruises together. We come all to the house and watch movies on the couch. We go eat dinner together. We go to each other's birthday parties. People will show you who you are. I mean, it's easy to kind of see somebody's characteristics. Yep. I was at an event, and I was with a very individual who has a huge name in the industry, and one of the top salesmen, he was showing me around this and this and this, and then he brought me to talk and meet his boss, somebody that I already knew. When he brought me and talked to his boss didn't even know his name, and he was just like, he was talking to me, because I guess the social media factor, but his boss did not know his top salesman in the company. And he was like, well, this is Tobiah, this and this and this. He was like, yeah, I know Tobiah, but who are you? And he was like, hey, oh my goodness, I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm one of your top salesmen. He was like, well, you need to sell more. And it's just like,
oh yeah, that's not an environment you want to be in for long.
And the thing is that's the roofing industry.
It is.
We have so many selfish, ego-driven guys that just wants to swing and it, like, you know, I don't want to say nothing provocative, but there's a lot of ego in this industry.
Yeah.
And I'm removing ego. I'm bringing, like I said, the factor of love to say, hey, if we only focus on the love factor, you'll pay your guys.
Yep.
You'll pay your subs. You will pay, help, give, and grow. But people are just taking, like Buddy, like there's a gentleman who spoke today. The only thing he talked about for 4 years, people took from him. For 4 years, he was in a situation where people didn't do what they said that they were going to do, but he went up and beyond. So for myself, I'm going up and beyond for individuals that will go up and beyond for me, and I'm going to always precipitate the energy of that. If you don't give me what I give you, I'd rather you not work for me and you just go work for somebody else.
That's a big thing, and that's a big point. Is first, the thing that you said was it's built on love.
Yes.
Right. Like that's a different mindset, man. Like building a business around love. Your company culture is around love. I know you have a lot of family members that are part of your business too. And you're working hard to create opportunities for them. It's your sister down in Houston,
absolutely.
Right? Like things like that, where it's like, oh, look at this opportunity that I have. Let me help you.
Not work for me. Let me give you your own business.
Yeah, create this for you.
Yes, because that's what's the difference. Like I went to RoofCon. It was over 3,000 roofers there.
Yeah.
I went to Win the Storm. Over 3,000 roofers there. Roofing Progress.
Yep.
Over 2,000, 3,000 people. SRC.
Yep.
Over 2,000 people. Like, I'm going to events where there's thousands of roofers and everybody's doing well.
Yeah.
So why not give the opportunity to somebody that's doing extremely well in your job?
Yeah.
I would rather my sister have her own business and we partner up with more deals.
Yeah.
And then another guy say, hey, I want to start my own roofing business. I want to help you and just be your brother company and help you do that. So because I come from the entrepreneur space, I only want to be around entrepreneurs, and I only want to be around people that want to be entrepreneurs. So if I'm in a position to help and do that, that's what I'm going to do.
So I think in entrepreneurship, you need a couple of things. One thing is you need competitiveness.
Yes.
You have to be competitive. You have to want to win. Another thing, though, is I think that you have to have a mindset of abundance.
Yes.
And I don't think you have to compete with each other.
No.
But also, at the same time, like, I don't know if you played sports growing up, things like that, right? Yeah. Like, you could go and I heard it best from the guy that started a company called ClickFunnels, Russell Brunson, and he grew up wrestling, and he was a collegiate wrestler. And he said he went after a competitor of his in business, was going after their customer base and working. You know, he's building his company, and it was part of it. And the CEO of that company called him one day and was like, "Did I do something to you?" And he was like, "Oh no, I love what you do. I love your work. I love your company. But I'm competitive." Like his thought process on it was he wrestled every day.
Yes.
And then when the wrestling match was over, shake hands. Wow, man, good job. That was great. And
absolutely.
And then, but that competition makes everyone better.
It has to.
You have to, and it happens in markets. It happens in markets in business where a lot of business owners get lax, right? They have enough business for themselves, and so they stop improving. I like that you've gone out and searched for the knowledge to now build your business on that knowledge. But going into the future, how are you going to continue continue that? Is that part of, like, you always want to be around you'll be at every conference, you're bringing in trainers, and you were talking to Matt Mulholland, you're talking, like, bringing these guys, hey, I want to make this better, I want to make that better. Is that where did you get that level of or where did you get that from in your life?
My uncle, his name is Tobiah Rocker, and he mentored me into this entrepreneur space on so many levels, and he gave me so much value and so many life lessons. He gave me so much information that if he didn't give me what he gave me, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah.
So when you have
what were a couple of those?
One, don't bring your personal problems in your business. No one cares about you at the end of the day. Everything that you want in your life, you have to get it. It will never be a point in your life where you feel like you made it. It will always get harder. People have this mindset to think that as we work and we get to a certain point, we will have this freedom, this happiness. Like, we chase money thinking that it's going to bring us this source of happiness and joy. That never comes, especially not attached to money.
Yep.
So he's teaching me these principles. We always feel like we got to work so hard and day in and day out to be a successful. Like, if you're a thinker and you're able to execute, work smarter. Like, everybody say work, smarter, not harder, and things like that, but that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So my uncle, he allowed me to understand that his level of execution is the reason why he was in his position. He's a millionaire, but he's working every single day as if he was broke. And that right there, that was a lesson. So every time I felt that I was working hard, I just always felt like I can work so much harder. So it was those types of lessons that just really took my life to a whole different level. So when it's dealing with this industry, when you have TJ, when you have John Scenic, when you have Deshaun, when you have the Domedicos, when Dimitri's, yourself, Matthew, Woody, like, you have all of these phenomenal guys who's in the industry, Demetrius, like, you just have a lot of people that's just coming into this industry and just really helping and giving value. And this information is here for us to take and take to the next level. And there's guys that's in this industry that has looked out for me in so many, like, when I went to these industries and these conferences, no one talked to me. When I first went to RoofCon, I was walking around there by myself. And there's a guy named Woody. He came to me. He introduced me to everybody. And the reason why I know so many people in this roofing space is because of him. And I met him at the check-in. He was by himself. Yeah. And he has a company called AJ Dents in Dallas and things like that. Like, the fact that he took time to come talk to me and walk me around and meet all of these, awesome guys in the industry. That's why I'm able to grow my business and grow as much. I probably speak about, being black in this space and the challenges that I go through. I never want to come off as just that. I give very, very strong, passionate respect for a lot of guys that's in my circle, that's white in this industry, that has helped me tremendously, that kept me driving to want to be in this industry even more. Yeah. So that's the thing that has took this to a whole nother level and a whole different passion and drive. Because there's nothing like being in the industry that you don't know anything about, and people coming to you and connecting you to the right people to help you and to take your business to another level.
That just makes me think that, really, if you put yourself out there and you have good energy, there's a lot of good people out there.
It is.
Right? There's a lot of good people out there. A lot of times we get focused on the negative things that happen, but there's a lot of people that are always willing to help, willing to do those things. So that's awesome, man. What do you think the greatest insight is that you could share with our audience that's helped you find success with Rocker Roofing and moving forward with the business?
Go to every single conference. Jen, she has conferences that she puts on, like, and this is outside, because Jen, she has like a she does a one industry,
the one industry, one model, Jen Silver.
But look at that. You know, you have a woman in a more male dominant industry. She was kind of the first woman that I've seen put together an event. April at SRC,
April Hall,
you know, it's kind of her and her husband, but just that alone, she made a decision to create a source of information to give to our industry to make everybody better. So anybody that's wanting to be in this industry or that's already in this industry, I think the most important thing is, as a business owner, is to go to every single conference, buy the VIPs, get the, even though, you know, we know that a lot of times we buy all these exclusive tickets and things like that, and it's not really no exclusiveness to it, but they are setting their value to their conference. And I just say, everybody go to every single event, every single workshop, Revolt. They do. I love what Connor and Hunter did with Revolt. And Diego. They like, I went to one of their Revolt situations and I loved the experience. You know, I wish I was in a position to pay the amount of money to actually be involved. I will eventually.
That's right.
But that alone, like, that's the type of culture that I want to create. A whole bunch of roofers, sales guys, just coming together, connecting, traveling, working, educating, going through real mental health directions, fitness, just surrounded by everything that they do. So for your question, man, get involved in all of these organizations that hold and share the values of being better. We have to surround ourselves around great people. We have to surround ourselves around positive people. And that's another thing. Being in roofing, I've met a lot of positive, loving people. And I've met a lot of other guys that was, you know, the opposite. And that's the balance. That's life. So for me, this is what it's about. The connection, the relationship, and the information that you're going to receive. The event that Don is putting on today, we have to understand, the only thing that's going on right now is a roof con. Right now. The only thing that's going on is a win the storm. Right now. It started with some guys that wanted to get some roofers together and continue to push the agenda to keep connecting. And I applaud you, because just like you show up to RoofCon and SRC and all of these companies that, you know, hey, there's going to be a lot of people out there, and I'm going to be in a position to connect with a lot of people. As a businessman, that's what we do. We want to go where all the people are. This event is not that big. It's not so exaggerated, and it's not hundreds of people and things like that. But everything great starts from somewhere, and the people who become great are the people who start something. And the fact that you started your podcast, you brought a different dynamic into the industry. Now you have notoriety in a space that's not there. And now I'm motivated to speak more on platforms because guys like you. So we just need to show up. We need to continue to support, and we need to continue to connect and show each other as much love as possible, because the main thing that this roofing industry is missing is love. It's so much hate. It's so much anger. It's so much envy. It's so much people that then stabbed each other in the back, people that didn't get paid. I'm saying I hear so many horror stories in this industry that it's like we just need healing. And that healing can just come from just doing the right thing, loving each other. And even if it was a problem, even if the situation was based off of money and a person didn't do what they say they're going to do, at the end of the day, it's just money. It can be remade, but that relationship can be way better. And I would rather know not to work with somebody on a business level other than just not liking them.
Yeah.
Like, let's just learn to just not do business with each other, but still love each other, still hug each other, still support each other, show up. That's what we're missing, because all of these divisions and even the conferences, it's like, yeah, we have all of these different conferences that's going on, and all they do is talk bad about the other conferences. And it's just like, we as African Americans, we see that so much in our culture. So for me, I push the industry to say, hey, let's attempt to put all the events together under one building and see how that goes. Anybody that's beefing, that has any problems, roof beef, fix that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's people are bashing each other on the internet, but also giving value and helping other people. So it's just like they're taking this roofing industry and turning it so commercial and so like industry driven, so like everybody want to be entertained with the negativity. We got to stop that, man.
Awesome, man. This has been another episode of the Roofing Success Podcast.
Yes, sir.
If you would like to generate more revenue through your digital marketing efforts, please visit roofermarketers.com to get a copy of the book, The Best Known Roofer. Also, check the training section of the website for guides on everything from running effective pay-per-click ads to how to properly set up your Google My Business listing. Thanks for listening.